Hello, my name is Majegs, and I scour the internet looking for video games that fit the lives of busy people. I know that you all are busy with your chores and your studying and your work and the like, and so am I. And that's why today, I'm recommending Outer Wilds. Welcome to Outer Wilds Ventures, the premier Hearthian space exploration organization, founded on the principles of exploration, scientific advancement, and a haphazard yet space-worthy vehicles that they've been constructing for at least the past 22 minutes, and we'll get to that in a little bit. As the latest in a long line of trained astronauts, at least 4, it's your launch day. Without a well-defined mission, it's up to you to surf the stars, searching for meaning, purpose, the astronauts who have gone before you, or maybe you just want to try flying straight into the sun. I know I have many times. Now, let's start with a caveat. If you've ever heard of Outer Wilds, you've always heard it described in hushed voices and with numerous spoiler warnings. And here's mine. Outer Wilds is a game best experienced without guidance, without walkthroughs, or even discussion with your coworker who says that they're not about to spoil something and then they tell you something that turns out to be a really big spoiler. It's built on the principle of exploration in a rapidly changing solar system. I'll be doing my best the entire time throughout this video to avoid any spoilers regarding the narrative, the locations, the lore, and pretty much anything else that I feel like was a treat to discover on my own, but I am going to have to throw in some examples just to show you how good this game really is. So if it seems vague, or it seems a little light on the game discussion itself, that's why. If you know anything about me, you know that I love space games, like a lot. But like you all, I have a lot of stuff going on, and so I don't have time to get into simulator level depths with complex systems and a whole lot of tutorials. Realistic physics simulations and minutia of interstellar galactic travel is really cool and can be done really well, but I just don't have the free time to spend plotting courses and balancing payloads. I'm much more interested in the arcadey space travel, where long stretches of nothingness and the critical timings and the perfect weight balance are cut out and just left to the bite-sized morsels that we all want to be dealing with, which is hurtling through three-dimensional space trying to land on planets. And unless you're a NASA engineer or a SpaceX rocket master, I bet you all feel the same way. Or honestly, if you do work for NASA, you can just chill out, okay? It's not all about you. Outer Wilds has without a doubt the most balanced three-dimensional space travel I've encountered to date. You control all your thrust vectoring and traverse an entire solar system, but the distances between the planets are on the order of tens of kilometers instead of hundreds of thousands of kilometers. Instead of monitoring my fuel in Delta V's, I can rip it full speed across the solar system because I got bored on this bootleg Camino planet and instead wanted to go to this planet, if you will. So what you get is a game where you navigate between close celestial bodies using responsive aircraft that looks and feels the way space travel should, I put that in air quotes, should feel, and it's just fun to fly around the solar system looking at things. There's no way around it.
That's unstoppable!
That being said, flying around a solar system would eventually get boring if you didn't have a purpose, and in Outer Wilds, something curious is happening. Every 22-ish minutes, the sun goes supernova and explodes, taking the entire system and every living thing with it. Until you wake up on the morning of your first launch, that is. That's right, we're talking time loops, we're talking Groundhog Day, and we all know how I feel about time loops. They rock for busy people. Because it means you have a built-in timer, a built-in session interrupter, a built-in method to make sure that you take that 20-minute needed break that you know you need without losing track of time. Get into Outer Wilds and relax in the knowledge that you're going to be naturally cut off 22 minutes in. That also means you're never really risking that much. So you die from lack of oxygen, or your ship blows up because you drove into a space jellyfish thing, or you accidentally flew into a small planet made entirely of lava. It doesn't even matter, because you'll respawn at the beginning and get to do it all over again. The time constraint and the lack of severe consequences means you're always trying new things and you'll never accidentally lose track of time. It'll always be on purpose if you lose track of time. If you're like me, you might feel the need to get immediately back in the ship and keep on exploring. And exploring. And exploring. Until suddenly it is so much later than you thought it was. And if that wasn't enough for you, the mission log in your ship's computer in Outer Wilds is just teeming with information that you've uncovered a thread of, but haven't pulled all the way to its little knot at the surface, its little Gordian knot sitting there in the air. Because this game is so full of those threads to pull and those narratives to explore, lore to uncover, and crisscrossing webs and scraps of information, it wouldn't take long for an occasional gamer to just get bogged down, to get lost completely, and then quickly just turn to walkthroughs and gameplay sessions. I mean, if it were me, I would eventually get tired of trying to remember things, turn to YouTube, turn to Google, and finish the whole game in a day just by going point to point. But in Outer Wilds, your onboard computer retains a log of every single rumor you've heard and every location you've visited, and it shows it in this graphical interface that links all the stars and planets with other rumors. It looks just like that board that Charlie puts together in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and is maybe just as unhinged at times.
Hey, Sylvia, this name keeps coming up over and over again. Every day, Pepe's mail's getting sent back to me. Pepe Sylvia, Pepe Sylvia. I look in the mail, well, this whole box is Pepe Sylvia!
It tells the story of your specific journey through discovery while also providing on-ramps for your next adventure. I'll bet nobody's shiplog looks the same. So it's a way to track what you've done, how you've progressed, and if you've taken a break from the game for any reason, then all you need to do is hop into the ship and check the computer and you're right back in business. Outer Wilds is exactly the kind of space exploration game I wanted. There's no laser battles, there's no combat at all, it's just you and the environment. I mean, that being said, there is danger, like lava and falling and various other space things like running out of air, but the silence of space pierced by the various hazards you'll encounter, and underscored by a soft-spoken instrumental soundtrack, is a thematically relaxing environment. Sitting in my computer, tea in hand, night sky out the window, oh, that is a recipe for total escapism into the 22 minutes of existence remaining in Outer Wilds. Now look, here's the punchline. Our lives are busy, and escaping the hustle and bustle of daily life can be a chore in and of itself. Whether it's working, housemaking, taking care of kids, or studying, it's so easy to get caught up. The flawlessly crafted space exploration and the player-driven narrative of Outer Wilds create a portal that transported me from boring old Earth to an alien solar system teeming with discoveries to uncover. And I'd be willing to bet that Outer Wilds is going to do the same for you. For these reasons and more, I'm giving Outer Wilds 5 spoiler-free signs out of 5 spoiler-free signs. Highly recommended.